So, are you finding the time to go through and revise whatever we are doing?
Yeah.
Okay, right. So, simple stuff is easy to understand. Here we begin. Try reading the first passage. Zabina Wolf.
Sabina Wolf is piloting
Pilotin.
piloted by their Lufthansa.
Okay.
Sie flagged.
Eine
Yeah,
Boeing.
sie flagged eine Boeing 73 73
Sabina findet.
700
No. You only, even in English, how will you say a Boeing 737?
Yeah.
So similarly here, Boeing 737.
737. Okay. Zabin findet.
It is not Zabin, it is Zabina.
Okay, Zabina findet, then Beruf prima.
Right.
Computer und Technik waren für sie schon immer interessant.
Okay.
Als Pilotin ist sie viel unterwegs. Auch am Samstag oder Sonntag.
Right.
Sabina arbeitet sehr oft mit Männern zusammen.
Ja.
Das ist für sie normal. Nur 5 von 100 Piloten in Deutschland sind Frauen.
Very good. Right. See if you're able to make out on your own, because here most of the words are very close to the English language.
Yeah.
And simple stuff. Okay. So go ahead.
She is a pilot in Lufthansa. She flies a Boeing 737.
Right.
She findet Beruf's job
prime or first class.
Okay.
So she finds a job.
First class.
Excellent, prime or it is first class. Okay.
Okay.
Right.
Computer and technique. She's interested in computers and technology.
She was always interested. Okay. Emma is then going to be always.
Always. Okay.
This is then, if you remember, waren, if you remember, is the simple past tense for is.
Is. Okay.
Was. So
she was always.
These computer and technique were for her always interesting. So it is a plural form of this one.
Okay. Computers and technique.
Als Pilotin.
Also
as a pilot.
Okay. Also as a pilot, unterwegs. She Unterweg, is it a village or something?
No, it is not. If it were a village, it would be a capitalized one.
Okay.
Unterweg, weg ante dari. Unterweg ante darlo undadam. She is often on the way. Ante pranam chestu untundi. She is always traveling.
Okay.
Yeah.
She is always traveling. Also on Saturday and Sunday.
Or Sunday.
Or Sunday. Sabin's job.
No, not job. Work.
Okay. Work.
It is then going
often with her husband.
No. Often with men.
Okay.
This is the plural form.
Yeah.
Okay. So Männern is going to be the plural form. And here she's then saying that it is often, she often has to work with men together.
Okay. No, the reason I said husband is in some places they are saying my man.
No, mine man ante na husband. Here, when you're simply
Here we don't have men.
men and them, it is the plural form indicating men. That's all.
Yeah.
Okay, that is for her. That is quite normal for her.
Okay.
Then
That is
next
very
one.
normal. Then phone 500. There are 495 pilots in.
Only 5 out of 100 pilots in
Five of
Germany
100.
are women. They only 5% of the pilots are going to be women. That is the meaning behind it.
Okay, phone. Okay, off. Phone is off.
Yeah.
5 of 100.
Yeah, but don't take that as a rigid off. There are other ways in which it can then also be utilized. So, anyway, Chittu you are able to, so this is what I mean that you're able to understand. Okay, now let us then see if you're still remembering the stuff which we had learned. So, here you are. You want to then say, I have a headache. How do you say this in German?
Ich habe Kopf.
Ich habe Kopfschmerzen.
Kopfschmerzen.
Okay. Now, ikkada, you want to give the past tense. You want to say, I had a headache. Ela cheptaru?
I'm not sure.
Okay, not sure about that. Let's then leave this for the time being. We'll come back. Here, this is a regular verb. Even regular verbs. No. You want to say Paul lives in Hamburg. So
Paul won't in Hamburg.
They are wohnt in Hamburg. Okay. Now, what would be the past tense for this? We did this last time.
Yeah. Paul.
Fine. Otherwise, we will.
Paul wohnte in Hamburg.
Is then going to be wohnte in Hamburg. Absolutely correct. Now here ich. Ich freue. It is going to be freu. EU is going to be oi. So ich freue. Ich freue mich. So like when you are meeting somebody, okay, there are 3 ways in which you can then react to an introduction. So hi, this is Peter, this is Ravi. Okay, so ich freue mich, I'm pleased. Okay, so ich freue mich, or you can say nett Sie kennenzulernen. Nice getting to know you. Or you are then going to then say angenehm, pleased, angenehm, pleased. So these are ways which you are reacting with someone where there's an introduction being given over here. Okay, now, next one. Yeah, this one. Yeah, the word Buchstabe actually means the letter of the alphabet. From that comes the word called Buchstabieren. So Buchstabieren then means to spell. So he spells the word. Buchstabiert das Wort. So what should you learn about spelling? You should learn the spelling of your first name. You should learn the spelling of your surname. You should learn the numbers of your telephone numbers. Quite often what is going to happen, people are not used to, they are used to be names like, Heinrich and Müller and blah, 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 whatever is the German names. So Gottfried and all that. So when you then are going to then come and say Ravikant, then we're going to then say, könnten Sie das bitte buchstabieren? Okay, can you now try spelling your name?
Okay. R A V E K
K.
Okay. K A N T H.
Very good.
R A Day, epsilon, Pau, E, N, Te, A.
Excellent. Very well done. Now your numbers.
Okay. 99, sechs und sächsisch, 81,
Mhm.
11, 00.
Okay. Right. So there we are. Now, this is now a little bit of continuing the same manner. Let us then see if you remember your questions and your answers. Okay, so now, wo wohnen Sie?
Okay.
So, wo wohnen Sie?
Ich wohne in Hyderabad.
Okay. Now, apart from the usual questions, which are standard questions, like you would have a normal conversation with somebody whom you are getting to know, you should then ask little questions. Asking little questions is going to also help in expanding your ability to your vocabulary, because our entire focus is upon improving vocabulary and speaking abilities. So, first one. So, wie weit weg ist Ihr Büro von zu Hause? So, here is a question for you. It's a simple question. There's only one verb in it. It is then saying, how
do you go to your office from home?
How far away
Yeah, bike is far.
is your office from home? See that here, while what I'm doing, be very, very, very careful and listen. When it is simple stuff, and you're using one verb, it is possible that the two languages can be literally word for word translatable. Not always. So, simple German and simple English follow the same rules. That is the reason why it is then this is going to coincide. But as we go deeper and deeper, you will find that complex German is going to be different. Okay, introduction of two verbs is then going to change the structure. You're not going to then see how it is then going to come. So, begin here now. So, wie weit weg ist Ihr Büro von zu Hause? Answer is then, as I told you, 90% of it is going to come from this one. So if I ask you in English, how far away is your office from home? What are you going to begin with?
It is.
No.
My office is.
My office. So you're then going to begin with. Now, do you remember what is then going to be here? You can see.
Mein Bureau.
So you're going to begin with Mein Bureau. Absolutely wonderful. So there you go. You're then going to say Mein Bureau ist. And now you have to get the information. How far away?
10 kilometers.
10 kilometer. Weit weg.
Okay, far away.
Von zu Hause. So you can see most of the words are coming from the question itself. Only new information is a 10 kilometer. That is all. Okay, right. Now, here comes the next question. Wie pendeln Sie? Wie pendeln Sie? Now, obviously, you wouldn't know the meaning of pendel, so you require a tool. The tool that we have been given earlier is then going to be Lingway. So when you then come here and you then type and then it then says, when you're coming and looking at this, please don't look at the capitalized version because capitalized is showing noun. We are not looking at noun, we're looking at the verb. So, Pendel is neutral, so this is not the one we want. Pendel, the verb is what we want, and it says commute, swing, oscillate, shuttle. So, how do you shuttle from office and home? So, we pendel thee. How do you then do it? So, the answer would then come, Ich pendle. So, Ich pendle mit dem Auto. Mit dem Bus.
Okay.
Mit dem Bus. Mit dem Bahn. So you have choices, multiple choices. So ich fahre mit dem Bahn. So you're going to give this, you're going to give these as your answers. So wie pendeln Sie?
Wie pendeln Sie? Ich pendel mit dem Auto oder Bus.
Okay. Right. Motorrad, motorcycle, two-wheeler. So you've got multiple choices. Whatever is the mode of transport that you are using, we pendeln Sie. So like this, what you should try to do every day when you come to the class, every time you come to the class, you try to create 2-3 questions that you are going to ask. Apart from that, how old are you and where do you live and what's your name and spell your this one and all these, what are you by profession? Apart from the standard ones which we are initially, that is only for very basic people. So you already you spent some time in Germany and some of the phrases you're very comfortable with them. So the point is, take advantage. You are progressing reasonably well. Now all you need to do is put a little bit of impetus to this. So try to then improve yourself by creating questions which you would like to ask, even if it is work related. So how are you progressing? So, magst du Fortschritt? Geht alles gut? So, is everything going well? So, if somebody has done well, what will you then see? You're going to be obviously not going as a junior, but rather as a senior person. You're going to have somebody below you. The person does well. So, what are you then going to say? Well done. Evantaru, prima. Prima. Well done. So, nice. Good job. So, you can then say prima. So, this is how you would then be encouraging the people. Right. So, ikkada meeru every day try to then see. And questions and information at closely, there are 2 ways in which you are going to create a question. Number 1, you're going to use the W form. Wie heißen Sie? Wie geht es Ihnen? Was machen Sie? So you're going to use the W form to ask questions. Wie weit weg ist Ihr Büro von zu Hause? These are all with the W words. From the verb, you can then create. So, won't Paul in Hamburg? You take the verb and put it in the front, and it becomes a question. Won't Paul in Hamburg? Does Paul live in Hamburg? In English, we have this tendency that though we can normally say, lives Paul in Hamburg? We say no. We use the, does Paul live in Hamburg? So we have a tendency to add an unnecessary does. Angrezi mein ho sakta hai, but not in the case of German. In German, we don't add the does. So don't ever try that. So now that is one, and similarly also, many of the other things we use Are you coming? Kommst du. You go directly to the word come. So kommst du. You're going to be using, this is where there is a deviation from the English and the German. They do not, accept that. Spielen Sie mit den Kindern? Are you playing with the children? So, machen Sie eine Pizza? Are you making a response? You ask them when you say all these things, we can then. So, sagen Sie, wie heißen Sie? So, tell me how you call it. So, sagen Sie, you can use any of these verbs for that. So, the more the number of verbs you're comfortable with, the more you are then going to be able to communicate. So, here, it is basically the 80-20% rule. That means if you know around 20% of the verbs which are then going to be there, you're going to be very comfortable in the language. You can get by with all day-to-day stuff. Wohnen, you've already come across, you know about it. Today you've learned about freuen, you've learned about buchstabieren. What is hören?
Hear. Listening.
To hear or to listen. Notieren.
Writing or
noting down.
Noting down, yeah.
Most of the ieren verbs are easy to understand because they are going to be, there are a group of verbs which are called as ieren. All of them happen to be regular verbs and all of them are then going to be easy to understand. So mostly the English word is English ki chara de girlo. You are then going to have telephone, telefonieren. So telefonierst du deine Mutter? Are you calling your mother? So this is then going to be the one. Or you're going to then say, okay, studierst du Deutsch? Are you studying German? So you find studieren, telefonieren, fotografieren, offerieren, managieren. When you get lots of words where the ieren is not going to work, it's one of those which is going to be as close to German as possible. So now most of these are words which you've already come across. Now here is another one, the ieren verb, korrigieren. What is korrigieren?
Not sure.
Correct. To correct.
Okay.
Sarididdatam. So we then say the korrigiert. So the correct.
Correct.
So die Lehrerin korrigiert den Satz. Die Lehrerin korrigierte den Satz. She corrected the sentence. She corrects the sentence. She corrected the sentence. Okay, so you have an idea about the simple past tense from this one. The one where you're going to then have is the irregular verbs. Irregular verbs ki chappatam koncham ibbandi maniki. In the we're going to then find, sometimes we may find it similar to the case of the English. So in English, give me what is then going to be the I drink milk. Then what do you then say? Past tense.
I drank milk.
I drank milk. And then the third one, I have drunk milk.
Yeah, okay, I have.
So, ikkadakadanu, du trinkst Milch, du trankst Milch, du hast Milch getrunken. Hitler, you're going to get the three forms. Try the same with number 2. Then sometimes with the help of some of the words, we can also then gain more about this one. So now the word here says lead, L-I-E-D. What do you think it could be the meaning of a lead? Any idea what is going to be lead?
A song?
That is absolutely right, because I sing a song. So now, what is the missing component here? It is then going to be Ich singe ein Lied. So here, this particular one in the present tense, it is asking you what is the ending. So the ending here is ST. Here it is then going to be singe. Ich singe ein Lied. Ich sang ein Lied. Ich habe ein Lied gesungen. Right. So you're going to get that is going to be outer. See, basically sentences are going to be going to the what you call. We've already seen that we're going to have sentences are going to be changing the verbs are going to change according to the tense and according to the personal pronoun that it is being used with. So these are then going to be the 6 forms of sentences which are going to be used. There are still a couple of ones that we need to learn. I will talk about them eventually. So basically, this is the basic simple one verb, simple sentence, simple present tense. One verb, simple past tense. Okay, 2 verbs, and it then starts becoming a compound ones. All of these are then going to be compound. All of them are then going to be compound. Here, when it becomes compound and you have 2 verbs in the case of the English, they are allowed to sit side by side. You're allowing them to sit side by side. Future tense, will make. This is then going to be something called as modal verbs. Anni akka pakkanlo vasthunayi. German lo atla raavadam veeladu. We are going to separate them and put them separately like that. Okay, so there we are. This is then going to be the compound form. When you are then coming, always the second verb is then going to go to the end of the sentence. Now, in the case of the simple past, the past tenses lo vachinappudu, not only the back of the sentence, the form of the verb is also then getting changed. This is going to be our next lesson. We're not going to be taking it up today. We should probably be taking it up in the next session. Today we should be looking at just revising a little bit of reading, a little bit of whatever we have done, consolidation before we then move forward. Okay, so now plurals. Last time we have talked about.
No, we haven't completed this past tense of irregular verbs last time.
Past tense of irregular verbs. Okay, very simple. You require a tool for it. There are going to be 2 tools. So one of them is then going to be called as vocabulary. Okay, so one of them is then going to be called as vocabulary. And the other one is then going to be a list of all the irregular verbs that we are then going to be having. So you have a complete list. There are, in the case of the irregular verbs, there are a total of 180. Okay. Now, here, when this, last time we have then seen that when we are coming here, whatever is, you're going to add a T to the stem of the verb. And this is for, in the case of the regular verbs, we are then going to add the T. And then that is then going to be standard. So all of them are then going to be following the same. So you're then going to come down and you're going to, this Machte becomes our template. We're going to replicate it. We're going to duplicate it over here. With the difference that wherever it is then required, we are going to add the form. So here you're going to add an ST. Here you are not going to add anything. And here you're going to add since it's already having an E, only an N. And here you're going to add a T. So you're going to say, Ich machte, du machtest, then machte, ihr machten,
ihr machtet.
So that was the format, and all regular verbs would follow a similar one, where you remove the EN and add a TE and then you make it. That was the system for the regular verbs. Now, in the case of the irregular verbs, it is not going to be the same. The same in the sense, see, basically, from the verb, we're not going to be able to be getting it over there. So it is the first one, whatever is coming for ish, that is going to be valid throughout. So this is also going to have, all things are going to repeat over here. Okay, so they're going to repeat over here. this will have an ST. Like in the case of this one, nothing here, no change, and then here you're going to get, this is then going to be the VR1, which is then going to come. If there is no E, I'm going to add the E, otherwise I have to then add an only an N. Okay, so this is going to have the ST all the time, and this is then going to have the T. The only question arises is, from where do I get this? So this is where Vocabulix comes into play. So you can then go to see whatever is this one. So like here, now you see, come here and say haben. When you're then putting in haben, what happens? You get present tense, past tense, future tense, conditional and conjunctive. For your purpose, conditional conjunctive has zero relevance for you. You stick with only these things which are here. So now we clear this drawing over here, and in this one you are then going to come and click on the past tense. Past tense in the German is going to be three kinds of past tense: simple past tense, present perfect, past perfect. So this is then going to be the simple past tense, the Präteritum. In German we say Präteritum, we say imperfect. So the first one is, what is it you're having? Ich hatte. That's all that I need to know. I only need to memorize hatte. Now I then come down over here.
Okay.
And the format is then going to be the same. So everywhere the same thing is going to happen. So I'm going to say hatte, and then it is then going to be replicated here and
Hattest,
here. And
hatte, hatten, hattet. Okay.
so I'm then going to say du hattest, hatte. So, and wir hatten. The E is already there, so I don't require to then do that. So you're then going to get an N over here, and here you're going to get a T, hattet. So simple as that. Now if it is going to be werden and I want to know it and I don't want to use this second method, I can then go to the list over here. Now I need to go to W. So take this and go down to the W. PQRSTUVW, werden. Werden is going to, the past tense is going to be wurde. Okay, this is valid. All the forms are not going to be given. So all the forms are definitely not going to be given. So once we have that little one over here, we can then come and say wurde. So then the same magic takes place every time. So wurdest, wurde, wir wurden,
ihr wurdet.
ihr wurdet. This is the form that is then going to take. So the irregular verb in the past is very easy. It is going to follow the same thing as the regular one. The difference is you have to discuss there. You are going to simply put a T as a marker. Here we don't do that. Each one is going to have a different one. And so here, how do you then manage? The simple thing is, remember, we come back to our list where we then said, hey, I'm going to create a list from the time I wake up to the time I get up. From the time I wake up to the time I go back to sleep. I'm going to make a list of all the verbs. Once that has been done, automatically the 50, 60 that you require, regular ones, you are going to know it. The irregular ones, you are going to learn specifically with the help of Vocabulix or this list, and within a short time, you will be able to very comfortably use it without having to refer to the lists anymore. Okay?
Okay.
That is why that thing is going to be of great importance for us. Right. Now, here is then going to be, you have an idea about the irregular ones now. So here, let us see if you're able to now make out. Yeah. Here is a story which is simple, and it is then going to be in this simple past tense. Everywhere remember the stem and the meaning of the stem, then the rest of it is not going to be important. So here in Tetero, lebte einst ein Torwächter. Torwächter is going to be a gatekeeper.
Okay.
So Tetero is the name of a place. Now the verb is lebte.
Lives.
So once upon a time there lived. Lived is then going to be the one for lebte. Okay, ich lebe, ich lebte. I lived. Ich lebte in Frankreich. I lived in France. So here we then have this lebte. Now the next one. Read the second sentence. What does it say?
Lebte.
Liebte seine Arbeit.
Liebte seine Arbeit.
Yes. So Arbeit you can now see is going to be feminine because it says seine Arbeit. Okay, E is coming up. And then it says liebte. The ter then tells me it is a simple past tense. So lieb ante enti. Lieb ante love. Ishtapadatam.
Okay.
Ich liebe Coca-Cola. So I love Coca-Cola. Ich liebe Apfel. So I love apples. Okay, like this you're then going to use, or you can even use it when you're talking with a human being. Ich liebe dich. So I love you. So liebte. So he loved his work. This is then going to be regular verb. Irregular verb coming up in the next clause. So there you are. The start war line. So what is this one then?
The start is state. Oh,
no, start is city.
City. Okay, the city is not small, or the city is big.
The city was not small. Was.
Yeah, was.
The whole story is being given in the past tense. Okay, now darum hatte er. Okay.
Darum hatte er in seinem Dienst.
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 Dienst is then going to be service. Okay, so yeah, so this you will find in many of the government departments. Okay, all the Dienst is then going to be there. Dienst is a very common this one. So wir sprechen von den Wasserdienst. We are calling from the water service. So you haven't paid your bill, this, that. So that isn't going to come from the Dienst. Okay. So now everywhere here also, it is a simple form only. Instead of simple present, is giving it in the simple past. That is all that is then going to be there. So when I send this to you, you then try to go through it and see how far you're able to then figure it out. It's not going to be difficult, but you will come across new words and you'll be able to improve your vocabulary overall. So this is then going to be the form which is then going to be there, right? There is a third form. The third form is also a very popular one, the one which we are then going to be dealing with most of the time, which is then going to be with two verbs. What that, as I said, is then going to be reserved. We will talk, it requires some, or at least a couple of sessions for us to be able to grasp the concepts of everything over there. Okay, you got an idea about what I want. So gab then is going to be to give, past tense, gave. Gingen is then went. These are all irregular verbs. Become is the past tense of become. So to get, bekommen. So this is then going to be the story over here. Okay, so you can then spend time trying to piece it out together. The weekend is here. You are able to then spend time. So the irregular verbs is clear to you?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, here we come. We are then having listening. As I said, these two are essential skills that we have to then pick up. So when we have a reasonable vocabulary, I will talk to you about writing and what should be done. We still stick with primarily the two activities of listening and this one, right? So here, this is then a new manager has been appointed. He has come to the office and his secretary is then recognizing him, and then she's, an officer, she's then telling him, this is your office and this is what is available, and they're then giving him a tour of the office. So pay attention. It is mostly about numbers here, for example, and then certain goods, things. So single words coming up. So here we go. 3, 2, 1, start.
Guten Tag, Herr Konrad. Das hier ist Ihr Büro.
Das ist ein schönes Zimmer.
Ja, natürlich. Also, dort stehen Ihr Schreibtisch und 2 Stühle, dann eine Lampe, eine schöne alte Uhr.
Aber eine Kaffeemaschine sehe ich nicht.
Ja, hier ist keine Kaffeemaschine. Aber in der Cafeteria können Sie immer Kaffee trinken.
Sicher. Funktioniert alles im Büro?
Ja, ich glaube, alles funktioniert gut. Die Lampe, der Computer und der Drucker sind neu und sehr modern. Und Ihre Stühle sind sehr bequem. Fehlt etwas?
Nein, ich glaube nicht. Vielen Dank, Frau Berg.
Okay, so when you are having in a continuous form, you might have difficulty in understanding. So first thing is, when you are listening, by now you will be able to make out this is one sentence. So wherever it is, you think a sentence is complete, stop and try to listen. Here we go.
Guten Tag, Herr Konrad.
So this is a greeting. Guten Tag, Herr Konrad. Okay.
Das hier ist Ihr Büro.
Das hier ist Ihr Büro. This here is your office.
Das ist ein schönes Zimmer.
Das ist ein schönes Zimmer. Schön is a word which has got 3 different meanings. One is nice, one is then going to be beautiful, and the third one is then going to be sunny. It is going to depend upon the context. So, this schön in the context, why do we call a sunny day? Out of 365 days, they are going to get sun on maybe 100 days. So, they think that any day on which the sun comes out, it is then going to be a beautiful day, a nice day, a sunny day. So they're going to say, es ist ein schönen Tag. It is a nice day. So this now here in this particular one, he's just using it in that sense. So he's saying, das ist ein schönen Zimmer. So it's going to schönes Zimmer. So it is a nice room. It is a nice office. Okay. Now?
Ja, natürlich.
Yeah, naturally.
Also, dort stehen Ihr Schreibtisch und...
So, dort stehen Ihre Schreibtisch. Stehen. Akka ninchunnai. Em ninchunnai, your writing table, Schreibtisch, your desk. Desk or writing table is then called as a Schreibtisch.
Okay.
A
Tisch is table.
Tisch is a table, and a
Schreib is writing.
Schreibtisch is then going to be a desk. Technically writing table, but in reality, we will translate as desk. So, this is then going to be desk. So, dort stehen Ihre Schreibtisch. And along with the Schreibtisch,
2 Stühle.
2 Stühle. 2 chairs. Stühle is going to be chairs. 2 Stühle.
Dann eine Lampe.
Then eine Lampe. So there is also a lamp available over there.
Eine schöne alte Uhr.
And a nice old clock. Schöne alte Uhr. Nice old clock.
Okay.
So, here.
Aber eine Kaffeemaschine sehe ich nicht.
So, aber is then going to be but. But. And nicht is going to be a negative.
Yeah.
So, it then says,
I don't say coffee machine or
ja, ich sehe eine Kaffeemaschine nicht. So, what is it? The nicht, and usually the thing here, main difference between English and German. Nicht is going to be an adverb. It's going to be an adverb. So, if you remember what I then said, we're going to then say Rama walks quickly. So, like that, it is then supposed to come after the verb. But quite often, you see, in the case of the English language, things like this can and they are put between the verb and the subject. So, like now when you then come and say, when we were doing the introduction for ourselves, we were then saying, yeah, ich lese Bücher gern. So I like to read books. Ich lese gern Bücher. I like to read books. So this is then that gern is then coming, I like is then coming in between the verb and the subject. Okay, even simpler one. Let us then say understand and take verstehen. So you're going to say ich verstehe. In English, what do you say? I don't understand. In German, you say ich verstehe nicht. So that nicht is then going to go to the end. So here also, ich sehe, I don't say ich nicht sehe einen Kaffeemaschine. Ich sehe keine Kaffeemaschine oder ich sehe eine Kaffeemaschine nicht. I do not see a coffee machine. Now, to which, what is the lady replying?
Ja, hier ist keine Kaffeemaschine.
Here is keine Kaffeemaschine. There is none. There is none. Kein, none.
okay.
Yeah, so there is none. Next one.
Aber in der Cafeteria
In der Cafeteria
können Sie immer Kaffee trinken.
können Sie immer Kaffee trinken. You can always have a coffee in the cafeteria.
Sicher. Funktioniert alles im Büro?
So, funktioniert alles im Büro. Here again, one of the iren verbs. Funktionieren. So, funktioniert alles im Büro. The word is then telling you, it's, as I said, very close to the English language, so you can understand it. Is everything functioning in the office? Functions everything in the office? Funktioniert alles im Büro?
Ja, ich glaube, alles funktioniert gut.
Ich glaube, alles funktioniert gut. I think that everything is working well. Okay, now.
Die Lampe, der Computer und der Drucker sind neu und sehr modern.
So, the computer, the Lampe, and this one now.
Es funktioniert gut. Die Lampe, der Computer und der Drucker sind neu und
So the computer, the printer, and the lamp are all new. Yeah.
sehr modern.
So, and they are also very modern.
Und ihre Stühle sind sehr bequem.
And ihre Stühle sind sehr bequem. Your chairs are very comfortable. Bequem is comfortable.
Fehlt etwas?
Fehlt etwas. Is anything missing? Fehlt etwas. Fehlen. So this word fehlen can be used even with human beings. So like now when you have, let us say you have gone ahead to Germany because you have to look for a room and other things and settle your papers before you can then call your family. So you are then going to tell your children to your fehlt mich. So I miss you guys. Or something similar to this one. So that is then going to be the stop and listen sentence by sentence is going to help you to a certain extent. Okay, to a certain extent. Now?
Nein, ich glaube nicht. Vielen Dank, Frau Berg.
So that was the end of the conversation. Now, let us see if you can remember the keywords which we then picked up from here. Number 1, im Büro sind 2 Stühle, 3 Stühle, 4 Stühle. Which of these is the right one?
Zwei Stühle. Zwei Stühle. First
2
one.
Stühle is then going to be the right choice. It's going to be 2 Stühle. What is missing in the office?
Coffee machine.
Coffee machine.
Im Büro ist keine Coffee machine.
Yeah. So, up to A2 level, this kind of multiple choice questions is damn easy. There's nothing at all to it. So long as you understand what it is it's saying. Die Lampe,
Get nichts felt. Or lamp is new. Maybe the funktioniert gut.
funktioniert gut.
Funktioniert.
Yeah, right. Their computer is
Ist modern.
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 Okay. Then die Stühle sind
Bequem.
bequem. So come here and you have 5 green lights. 100%. Your answers are correct. Okay. Now this particular one which you're having here, this link is by a particular publisher called Schubert. You're welcome to then click on this one and try it out. So when you come and click on this one, Begegnung 1, then you're going to then get, wherever you find these little pictures of people with a headphone, it is indicative that there's an audio attached to it. Okay, you can download the audio and listen. Alternatively, there are going to be things that you are going to be able to practice with this. So now here, for example, verb formen. Okay, so I click on this one, verb formen. So now am Montag, and then what is it you will then say here? What is the ending you will get if I'm having a plural, first person plural?
First person plural.
Hmm.
Is it where, right?
This is a regular verb. So now what is it I'm going to then get over here?
Schönen. Ian.
En is absolutely right. So we write down En over here. Okay. Now am Dienstag.
Meine Freundin nicht arbeiten.
So verb is
Gehe.
It's going to be E according to you. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, next one, Mittwoch. It's an ear.
Here is
Second person, plural, informal.
yeah. A T.
Könnt is going to be am Mittwoch. Könnt ihr nach Berlin fahren? Okay, and then the next one. Am Donnerstag. Du.
Du lernst.
Lernst du, sorry, I can't use this pen over here. It has to be typed. So we get rid of this one, come back here and say ST. Okay. And the last one, not last, it's still a couple of them more. So am Freitag.
Market. ET. It is just T. Marked. Okay.
So, which of these is then going to come here?
It is marked.
You would like to go with marked, okay? Next one. Here. Am Samstag
Spielt die.
is then going to be spielt. Okay. And then
E.
E is the one. Now there are two mistakes. So 5 of them are correct. 2 are out. Now here we are. And when we then check, you can see you got yourself a 71%. And 2 of them are having a red light. Now, what is it that went wrong? First one, when you say meine Freundin, what person is it going to be? First person, second person, or third person?
Third person.
So if it is third person, what should I then get?
Ian.
Wrong. I'm going to get a T.
T, okay.
So third person, and it is singular. It is going to be singular. So you're going to then get a T here. Okay. Now, this one, what happened? You have Herr und Frau Lehmann. So Mr. and Mrs. Is it singular or plural?
Plural.
So if it is plural, nakikrein ravali.
Marken.
It's going to be En. So come here and check again, and now you get 100%, and you see that all the green lights are on. So this way, simplistic exercises are available. Even if you're not doing something, you can use this to then better yourself. Okay, to improve your understanding. So you can use these things from here. You can go to whichever one you want, and you can then try it out. So that was verb forming. Okay, now here is then going to be about this one. Dialogue in Bureau, Gegenteile. Gegenteile is then going to be opposites. Left, right, man, woman, up, down, light, dark, heavy, light. So like this, you're going to find Gegenteile, opposites. Then the German language also has got something which is called as a composita. A composita is going to be by 2 verbs that are then going to be brought together. So you've got post, light, and then you require a Zahl. So you're going to find that you're going to require a post, light, Zahl, postal index number. Right. Then you're going to then, now here, park restaurant, Parkplatz. So parking area. So you're going to put this here and say Parkplatz. So you can then figure out how these compositors are then going to come along. Right. We stop over here for today. I'll say bye to you. Have a great time, and we shall meet again at our usual time on Tuesday.
Yeah.
All the best then. Bye-bye.
Bye. Cheers.